Welcome to my second vid. This is a video about pacelining in Regent's Park. So here's a map of Regent's Park, decent segment. Anyway, here we go, bit of GoPro footage. So the first clip I have is of me and Eat Plants, big up Eat Plants, doing a paceline, like single paceline. So it's just me and him. We are smashing it up one of the hills. So we got power in the top, gradient on the left, heart rate, and then power, and then cadence and speed, sorry. So anyway, here we go. I'm giving it the beans up the climb with old Ash on my wheel. So I'm just trying to show you the difference between like a group paceline, which we'll see in a bit, and the single paceline. So on the single paceline, it's like pretty chill. It's not very hard, like technically, to think about it. Basically, when you're on the front, you smash it, and then when you've had enough, you swing your elbow out or whatever. Let the other person take through. So you can see there's a bit of power difference when you're on the wheel compared to when you're in the front. It's not as big when you're only single. So if you look here, it's like he's probably doing 400, 450 on the front, and I'm not doing a great job of holding the wheel. I'm doing a lot of surging. It's not the smoothest, which you can see. Like if I was a bit better at holding the wheel, you'd see it be a lot smoother, maybe like 200, 230 the whole time. But yeah, Ash is doing a good job on the front, smashing it. And then like you can see, it's not super hard on the wheel. There are some efforts. I think I'm not sure what is happening here with the power, but anyway, I think, yeah, I don't know why it's going up to 600. Oh, sorry, the power might be out a little bit. But anyway, here we are. We're now on the front, and you can see I've taken the speed up a little bit, but the speed's a bit hard to tell. That's the other thing with the single paceline, is that the speed is quite subjective, because obviously it's like when you're doing a loop, it's hard to keep. You want to keep the effort on the front constant, but that doesn't always mean the power's constant, because if you're going up a hill, obviously you want to do a little bit more than if you're going down a hill. So here I'm going up the hill, a little drag, like it's like 2% or 1%. It's not much, to be fair, like maybe a 10-meter rise, but you know, it saps the legs a little bit, and it's going into a headwind at the moment. So I'm pushing the watts, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit here. Starting to feel it, because I think I went out a little bit too hard, like smashed up to 700, and it wasn't really the greatest. And you can see my numbers are sort of falling. And here I think I throw out the elbow soon. And I've sort of had enough. Oh no, maybe one more. Yeah, you see the big acceleration to get back on. Sorry, the power is a little bit on. Sorry about that. But you can see the rough gist of the thing. When you swing out, try and keep your power roughly the same, which means then you don't do a huge sprint like that to get back on. And now Ash is back on, and he's powering through on the front. But even so, like, you see I lost the wheel a bit, which meant that I had to put a bit of power. Like now I'm still doing it 300 at some points, which is sort of rubbish. Like I should be recovering now. You can see the heart rate's going down a little bit, but it's not the best. So here we overtake someone. Ash is really going for it. This part of the park is always a bit annoying because there's a light just around the corner. You can't actually see it until you're actually like right round it, because there's no, like, you have to sort of be in the middle of the road to see it. So you're powering along here, but you have no idea if there's going to be a light or not. But yeah, so often people sort of ease up a little bit here, but I think I can't remember if we go through the light or not. But anyway, it's a nice loop, this, in central London. Yeah, we're slowing down. You see the little hand signal. It's a nice loop. There's generally not too much traffic. Oh no, we're going straight through. And it's good, like, if you live in central London, because there's actually a place you can train without too much traffic. I mean, the traffic lights are quite annoying, I guess, but it's not the end of the world. Here's a bit of motivating. I'm gonna make a video on that. I just need to get a bit more footage, as I haven't been super successful at the moment. But anyway, here we go. I'm chasing this thing down. We're doing like 48 k's an hour, so you know it's quite fast. But we've just gone down a hill, so it's not super representative of my actual, like, I can't hold 50 k's an hour on the flat for very long. But yeah, no, it's nice pacelining. It's always good to have someone else to sort of push you. Like when it's on your own, it's quite easy to be like, nah, I'm a bit tired. But when someone's on your wheel, you're like, gotta give them a good turn. So here's the red lights. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. I don't normally do that. But anyway, we can just pretend it was green for a bit. I mean, we cut like 2 seconds off. But yeah, the red lights is just annoying. You sort of just have to be patient and realise that's part of life. But if you go early enough in the morning, then generally not too bad. But yeah, I think this is coming to the end of this part of the video. And then we'll get into some double pacelining. But you can see here, like, they still need to do quite a lot of power on the back. But you can see I'm quite far from his wheel. I'm not super good at like pacelining. Like, I'm more out in races and stuff, but when I'm just behind one person, often I'm quite nervous, like, especially in traffic, because you don't want to crash or anything, and like there's all sorts of stuff going on. But I feel like there's definitely something I can get better at, just for saving more power, because, like, let's be honest, no one really wants to be just giving away power like that. You want to keep your power as much as possible. So here we go, a bit of an acceleration, smashing it up a bit. But the thing is, these speeds look quite high, but like with 2 people, it's not super high. It's quite chill. This corner as well is also a bit dodged because there's like traffic up in the right or whatever. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice circuit. And this is pretty much where this part of the video started. So here we go. Here's an early morning ride with some random people I jumped on. I think it was from Muswell Hill. A bit annoying people, but anyway, it's quite nice to join on. So here I am behind this little young lad, and he must be like maybe 2 years younger than me or something, like 17, 16. But I don't have any power data because, long story short, I just didn't record because my Brighton's having some troubles. But anyway, here we go. So it's hard to sort of show it as well, because the video's a bit rubbish. It didn't seem to pick up very well, like the low lighting. But anyway, so here we go. It's not really a double pace line at the moment. It was on some parts, but this is more a single pace line because we sort of joined up lots of different groups. Basically, the person ahead of me, you can tell by his body language, the way he's like rocking his head, the way he's pedaling quite a big gear. He's sort of having a bit of a tough time. And I don't really want to like be mean to him, but I think he could have just taken a bit more time at the back. He kept on trying to pull through turns, but it's like, mate, if you're having a rough time, which we've all been there, just chill out on the back for a couple of rotations. But anyway, it was really bad following his wheel because he would basically like find it really hard to hold the wheel, and then he'd like sprint after it, so it really gas your legs, and it wasn't great. So you can see here people looking like, because there's sort of a bit of a gap, like what's going on, because often people will be coming back and there's a gap and like, are you going to fill it or whatever, and it's always a bit confusing. So I'm behind him but sort of thinking like, I don't really want to stay on his wheel because it's going to tire me out, which, you know, it's all good training, but it's like, it can just be a bit annoying if you're following someone's wheel. It's like, look, now I have to accelerate back up because as soon as you see there's a little gap between me, that's because he suddenly accelerated. But yeah, I'm not really sure why he was, like, what his tactic was. But anyway, you can see this person on the left, he sort of like indicated like he wants to go in. And then I'm like, okay, because I sort of I'm a guest on this ride, like I'm not part of that club or anything, so I didn't want to be too rude and like overtake or anything. But I was sort of wondering like, when should I overtake, and then I think about this point, that guy overtook, and I was like, yeah, okay, I've had enough of this. So I overtake him, which, to be fair, is like, it's not the worst thing in the world because it gives him a bit more rest. He can sort of slide back a bit, not have to put the same power in. But yeah, I think that's the thing with the group, is you just have to make sure you're on the right wheel. But this is pretty chill, like back here, because there's so many riders ahead. It's annoying I don't really have any power data to show it, but you also have to be a bit more aware. But you can tell here that we're not really smashing it because people are spending a lot of time on the front, which obviously if we're smashing it, people will spend less time. And you can sort of see also, because there aren't like 2 lines, when there's 2 lines, it's because people are sort of rotating faster. But this is more like spend a minute on the front and then sort of like go back. So it's not the fastest that we could be going. At some points we're going a bit faster, but like especially at the end, people were sort of doing 20-30 second turns, sort of like 400 or 500 watts and then pulling off, which is a bit better. But these people, they're not like, I don't know, a lot of them seem to be struggling a bit, so yeah, there's another light. But anyway, that is the end of the video for today. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned some tips. Thanks for watching, give us a subscribe, cheers.